Welcome everybody, this is Arabian Insider Scottsdale Edition 2017. I'm Kalliste Arabian.
And I'm Jeffrey Winterstein.
So we are here in Scottsdale covering the show, one of the most important shows in USA.
Francesca, this is one of the biggest Arabian horse shows in the world. I mean, look behind you.
I studied also.
You studied? Well, how many judges do we have?
We have 34 judges here.
How many arenas?
10.
And do you know how many people over the next 11 days are going to visit Scottsdale?
Yes, I know it, and I was quite shocked because in the 10 days of the show, we have more than 300,000 visitors. That's amazing. I mean, we cannot compare this show with one of the Middle East or European show because this is not a show. This is a festival, you know, about
Absolutely.
Arabian horses. We just don't have the altar, but we have all the performances. We have a lot of information. And I know that you also studied about the history of Scottsdale, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. It started in 1955 at the Arizona Biltmore with 50 horses. It has exploded to over 2,400 horses that all descend on the Valley of the Sun for this Arabian horse show. It truly is spectacular. Now, unlike a lot of European shows that you're used to, it's not just halter. In fact, it's dominated by performance, not only in purebred, but half Arabians. And it just really is spectacular. And you mentioned it's a festival. It truly is. Breeders come here to pick it's February in Scottsdale, they come here to pick their breedings for their mares. They come here to look for sale horses. People from the Middle East, from Brazil, Europeans, everybody descends on this. It truly is the mecca of the Arabian horse during this time in February.
Yeah, it's a festival that just really wants to explain how much the Arabian horse is amazing and unique like a horse. So I'm really happy to be here, and we will cover the show and bring to you all the news in these days.
It's going to be fantastic weather. I mean, I looked at my phone and it's beautiful right now, and we're supposed to be beautiful throughout the week.
And
so
it was raining before we arrived, but
Yes.
I brought the sun from Italy.
Well, thank you.
So as the atmosphere is completely different and the show is different, let's see some of the atmosphere.
This is you ending fire, then we shall all burn together. Watch the flames climb high into the night, calling out, Father, oh, stand by and we will watch the flames burn over and on the mountainside. And if we should die tonight, we should all die together. Raise a glass of wine for the last time, calling out, Father, oh, prepare as we will watch the flames burn over and on the mountainside. Desolation comes upon the sky.
So Francesca, today is Tuesday, but Scottsdale actually started on Thursday. Sandwiched between all the performance that I referenced earlier is two incredible halter shows. We just finished up one last night. It's called the International, and it's based on a point system patterned after the Europeans, patterned after Vegas. And so they were really incredible championships, weren't they?
Absolutely, yes. I was there and we had a really nice championship. And we didn't have just one championship, we had 3 championships of the Egyptian, straight Egyptian horses and also the international. We had really great results. I can say a lot of names that won quite a lot of medals, like Michael Byett, a lot of important studs like Al Jassimia stud, Al Shakab stud. Also Kalliste Arabians also have the gold medal. So let's watch a bit of the highlights of the championship. In Scottsdale, the Arabian horse is just a star. And like we said, we have a lot of performance, but also a lot of this different kind of halter, like the international, the classic, like we said before. And we also have the signature tune. So Jeffrey, can you please explain us?
Well, first I'd add one other category. Unlike Europe, we do a lot of amateur handlers, okay? We also have futurities. There's like the Scottsdale Stallion Signature, which you're referring to. What happens with that is we auction off breedings to stallions. And there's two ways. If you've bred to a nominated stallion, you can compete in the signature. But if you've bought the breeding, you can compete with one of your family members showing the horse in the auction classes, and that really is exciting. And just today, we awarded $28,000 to the champion yearling filly, $14,000 to the reserve. I mean, you can see why they get excited about it. There's just as much tension as the normal, as the classic and the international.
I mean, that's really important also because, as you say, you know, for the amateur it's really important to have a show like this in which they can perform and show horses, the horses they bred. So it gives also more feeling at the horse at the show, I
Yes.
guess. And except of this, we have a lot of performances. All the arenas full of horses doing different things. You are American, so you can explain us better.
I'll break it down to you a little bit. Scottsdale really begins with the junior riders, okay? And they compete in hunter pleasure, western pleasure, English pleasure, reining, country English. I mean, I could go on and on. So the junior riders start, and then it slowly transfers over to the adult amateur riders, and then slowly we get to the professional trainers. So by the end of Scottsdale, we're wrapping up with the key performances like the English pleasure champion horse, the Western pleasure champion horse. I mean, that's really the exciting. And you're right, there are so many different horses under saddle. It demonstrates the versatility of the Arabian, which is really why it's one of the neatest breeds, the best breed to be around.
This is one of the best points of the Arabian horse, that he can do
Absolutely.
really a lot of things. So let's check a bit, what is the English pleasure?
English pleasure, a horse should really be able to move well from behind, and what that does is that generates really free movement in the front. That's that high trotting that you see. And their natural carriage should be, they carry their neck really high, okay? Obviously, as the name suggests, it's an English tack.
And then now we also have another category that is the hunter pleasure, right?
Yes, hunter pleasure, similar, it's still English tack in a sense. It's a hunt seat. It's kind of after the tradition of the English fox hunt. It's a little bit of elongated ground covering motion, and the horse does not carry the head quite so high. So we call it a frame. The frame is a little more rectangular as opposed to the English, which is a little more square.
And then we have the Western pleasure, which obviously we change completely the saddle, and we change also the costume because we have all these
Absolutely,
cowboy.
you have the cowboy hat. Now, I'm not sure that the Western cowboy actually, had so much rhinestones
Yeah.
on the saddle and the clothing, but it's a rolling sort of motion. It's a rolling sort of trot, sort of lope. And what's unique about the Western horses, that they carry their heads a little bit lower, but also the riders sit the trot.
Yeah.
And the reason they do that is because it needs to be comfortable. I mean, the cowboys are in the saddle the whole day. I mean, that's where that tradition kind of comes from.
And they use the horses to work. That's also why they have to be
Absolutely.
comfortable.
And talking about working horses, the reining horses, which is really one of the most athletic horses here at Scottsdale.
Yeah.
So they do spins and slides, and that stems from that Western tradition of cutting out cattle from how maneuverable the horse needs to be to cut the cattle out from the herd.
That's what I like about all these performances, because actually they have a story behind them.
They do, absolutely.
They come from something, and this is really interesting. And like, to speak about tradition, we also have the native costume.
And I think for the general visitor, it's probably the most exciting.
Yeah.
Because the horse never trots. It's either walking or galloping faster with the flowing robes. And it's the only discipline where the rider's costume is actually judged as factors into the judges' scoring. And of course, Francesca, that's not all the performances that we have. We still have dressage, we have sport horse, we have sport horse under saddle, we have jumping over fences, we have working cow. The list really goes on. So if an Arabian horse can do it, you can do it here at Scottsdale.
Of course, yes.
When you call on me, when I hear you breathe, when you bless the day, I just drift away. All my worries that I'm glad that I'm alive. Set the heart on fire, feel love, make me woman, catch a bird. Couldn't get much higher.
all the most important handlers are here contending in Scottsdale, from Europe and from USA for sure. Ted Carson yesterday had a really nice championship, and this was also one of the most emotional part of the championship. And I know that you had the opportunity to speak about Kalliste Arabian, right?
Absolutely. I sat down with Jennifer Dombra, and what is really unique about this, not only did she breed the colt, but she bred the mare too, and she's just so excited, and it was really fun to share that moment with her. We kind of talked about her emotions. So we're here with Jennifer Dombra of Kalliste Arabians.
Hi.
You had a really big night last night, didn't you?
Amazing night.
Gold champion junior stallion, Vortex Kalliste.
Absolutely.
How special was that?
Poof, I have no word. I have no word. It was amazing.
It really struck me last night when I was watching this. How did you come about putting Vortex with Ted, and how did that all come about?
Well, that's actually a good question. In fact, you have to know that Vortex is the three-quarter brother of Excalibur.
Yes,
And
both by Shanghai.
absolutely, and same by a mother by Marwan. So I saw also, just like you, Ted, working very good with Excalibur and with some other horses. I know that he knows a lot about the Shanghais, and the Shanghais are not always very easy to work with. And I do appreciate his work. I mean, he's...
To keep his ability to keep the horse happy.
Absolutely, absolutely. He does a super great job with the horses. I mean, for training, for conditioning, and for the mental, everything is good. And so I am so happy now to work with him. And I met him the first time. He was, in fact, judging Vortex on the European shows. And then after that, we talked about, and well, it was something like logical to work together, and so it happened.
And let's talk about, you mentioned Vortex is out of a Marwan daughter, Mirwana Kalliste, which you bred the mare. So how special is that? It's another generation. And she made a little bit of a splash in Europe because she came into Menton with silver champion mare, and you know she was right in there with all the shakes.
Absolutely, that's something really, really more special than anything else. I feel like a grandma. Yeah, Mirwana was already something really special. I mean, his dam, the dam of Mirwana is something special to me. That's a straight Russian mare. She's double baton, very complete and big mover, and she was just missing a bit of refinement. What I found out Mirwana at the first generation. And then after that came Vortex, which was, I mean, even better than the dam for
really
me.
Beautiful
So
in the face. Yeah.
thank
Still
you.
all that charisma and motion.
Well, the motion is passing by, so I'm really happy about that.
Now, obviously,
That's
he's
true.
a stallion, so you're going to, at some point, you're going to breed him. And I know that you were just recently at Kalliste Arabians, and you leased two very special mares for
You
them.
know a lot of things.
What makes them special is they're out of like world champion Pinga and
Absolutely.
Embra, which is one of the biggest moving monogram daughters in the world.
Absolutely.
Why did you make those choices?
Well, I met a lot of people in the United States, but I must say that Frank Hennessy is somebody really, really gentle, and also George Z. And we came to speak about the genetics and about the horses, and I went to visit them, and wow, I was struck by those beautiful mares, I mean, at first sight. I didn't know that the first one I saw was a daughter of Pinga, but when I saw her, she was so incredible and so complementary to my horse. So I was like, I need this mare. And exactly the same thing happened for the daughter of Emba. I mean, this is the Besson-Carroll daughter. I was looking for a Besson-Carroll daughter to cross with my stallion.
Well, enjoy this victory. It was really well earned. That was a fantastic night, and I wish you all the luck with him, and enjoy the rest of your Scottsdale.
Thank you a lot, and I would like just to seize this opportunity to thank everybody in the world, because I have had a lot of support. I mean, me and also Ted, and that's so important for us. I mean, as a breeder, and for Ted and for Vortex, when they are on the arena, to have so much support. We received messages from all over the world, and that's something unbelievable. You know what? Wow.
Fantastic.
So thank you, everybody, for your
Congratulations,
support.
Jennifer.
One of the best points of the next Insider will be the marquee auction preview. So follow us in the next days, and we really hope you enjoyed this first edition of Scottsdale 2017. I'm Francesca Ragno.
And I'm Jeffrey Winterstein.
See you soon.